Mission Majnu begins with the declaration that it's inspired by true events. If we believe the events in this film, then we have to conclude that Pakistan in the mid-70s was run by men who could all fit under one label, dumb and dumber. There are soldiers who can't shoot straight. At one point, raw agent Amandeep Ajitpal Singh, played by Sidharth Malhotra, is hanging off the side of a train with one hand and they still can't kill him. Then there's this brigadier who, in a chat with a tailor who's come to his house, casually shares top secret information that Pakistan is also building an atomic bomb. He says, "Is baar Eid ka jashan kuch aur hi hoga." That tailor, of course, is no tailor but Amandeep in disguise. In another scene, the cops trace raw agents by going through telephone call records, but they only do this when Pakistan's covert bomb building operation is on the brink of collapse. It doesn't occur to anyone before that. The collective IQ level seems to be less than 100. This story is about a critical juncture in history when Pakistan, in retaliation to India's successful nuclear bomb test in Pokhran in 1974, accelerated its own nuclear program. There's plenty of scope here for suspense, emotion, rousing patriotism. But the telling is just logic-free and clumsily staged. Debutant feature director Shantanu Bagchi and writers Parvez Sheikh, Asim Arora and Sumit Bhateja attempt to anchor larger-than-life fictional drama within the heft of fact. There are scenes with Indian Prime Ministers Indira Gandhi and Morarji Desai, and on the other side Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and then General Zia-ul-Haq. But the rendering is so simplistic that the impact is unintentionally comical. The film imagines that at some point General Zia and PM Desai had amiable chats in which Desai recommended yoga to the general for his bad knees. Of course, the Pakistanis are two-faced and conniving. They say lines like, "India ko uski औकात दिखाने का वक्त आ गया है." Meanwhile, the Indians are unfailingly upright, mostly peace-loving and unflinchingly brave. The bravest, of course, is Amandeep. He is described by the Raw Chief as Academy ki history ka best cadet. He says about Amandeep, he won't let India down. Another agent refers to Amandeep as an angry young man, referencing Amitabh Bachchan's iconic 70s persona. And yet another says to him, "Tu banda genius hai." But Amandeep is saddled with a nasty boss and a tragic backstory. Yet, along with spying, he also manages to fall in love with Nasreen, a visually impaired girl who he marries. I'm guessing that this lack of sight was required as a quick explanation for why Nasreen doesn't quickly discover what her husband actually does. Mission Majnu wants us to admire the incredible guts of these unsung warriors whose names have been purposefully buried. But the trouble is that it makes spying look incredibly easy. Amandeep gets information by gossiping with an old woman or chatting up the brigadier. In one scene, he and his fellow Indian spies get critical evidence by disguising themselves as army men. Shantanu tries to build suspense with situations where they almost get caught, but little of it feels authentic. At one point, Amandeep is buying books on nuclear physics and doing research in the library. This behavior is decidedly odd for a tailor, but it arouses no suspicion. In its mix of facts, love story, desh bhakti and valor, Mission Majnu echoes Sidharth's earlier film Sher Shah. With all its flaws, Sher Shah was an emotional and moving true story of a true patriot. This film doesn't have the writing or the craft to replicate that. Instead, Shantanu seems to be ticking off boxes so that he can get to the fun stuff, like the train sequence, in which Amandeep, like so many iconic heroes before him, gets to run and dodge bullets on a moving train. Most of the action takes place in Rawalpindi, and the Pakistanis are depicted with the usual Bollywood stereotypes of surma combined with a barrage of adab and janab. The usual suspects of spy films also feature actors like Kumud Mishra, Sharib Hashmi, Zakir Hussain. Parmeet Sethi, playing Rawhead and Amandeep's benefactor, mostly wears grim expressions and delivers lines like, "This could start World War III." In one scene, Indian agents are waiting for information from counterparts in the Mossad in Israel. The chief asks, "So what's the news from the Jews?" I'm not sure why that dialogue was necessary. I can see why Mission Majnu would be attractive for an actor. Being a spy is inherently sexy. The job offers the opportunity to be courageous and dashing. It requires you to deliver a performance within a performance. And it also offers the opportunity for chest-thumping patriotism. Amandeep gets to deliver lines like, "अपनी माँ से कोई हिसाब नहीं होता तो अपने देश के साथ कैसे हो सकता है?" But for any of this to land, the story has to be more believable. Sidharth juggles with sincerity the many requirements of this role: romance, action, drama, and the half-baked father issues. Rashmika Mandanna works as best as she can with a one-note character. Nasreen is the symbol of innocence who becomes collateral damage in the geopolitics of the time. But this relationship never acquires the poignance or depth of the Alia Bhatt-Vicky Kaushal relationship in the much superior Razi, which was also about an Indian spy operating in Pakistan. Like the Pakistanis portrayed in it, Mission Majnu suffers from a keen lack of intelligence. You can watch the film on Netflix. What did you all think of Mission Majnu? Tell me in the comments below, and do subscribe to Reviews and More.